We're going to assemble the vertical push fixture. This aluminum plate has 4 pre-drilled holes, and the vertical push fixture body also has 4 matching pre-drilled holes. The plate fits right over like this, and then you use the 4 provided drywall screws and shoot them down in to the body. Now I would take and put them in part way so that in case there's any slight misalignment of the holes, you don't get to the last one and find that you can't get it in. Now, you also have 2 nylon screws that thread into the body of the vertical push fixture. Go ahead and insert these as I have done, and then slide the vertical push fixture into the dovetail slot on the top of your fence. The next thing you do is adjust these screws in until they just touch the face of the fence. You don't want them to bind, but you want to take out any slack so that the vertical push fixture does not wobble as it travels up and down the length of your fence. As with squaring the fence to the table surface, also check the face of the vertical push fixture, and if it is not square to the table surface, you will also want to take and put some tape or shims back in between the body of the push fixture and the aluminum facing. Now I'm going to show you how to do a preliminary joint. Cuts are made in the vertical position. So we will be using the vertical push fixture to hold the stock in place. I also use a piece of scrap stock on the back so that as the router bit passes through our good pieces, it doesn't splinter the stock badly. Also, to prevent going all the way through the scrap piece and possibly getting back into the base of the vertical push fixture, I run my piece of stock, or the pieces of stock, forward, and I look at the router bit down along the side of the piece of scrap stock until the router bit is about halfway into the scrap stock. Then I run the stop block forward just like that, and that way as I push my stock forward, it will stop and I don't go too far back into the material. And to hold everything in place, we use a clamp. Now, one thing that you have to be careful of is to make sure that your stock is down firmly against the table and in snugly against the face of the fence. If your stock is in any way crooked, then your joints will be crooked as well. Now, if you are making very heavy joints on the edge, what you might want to do is make 2 or 3 light cuts and sneak up until you get the full depth of cut. We're making a fairly light cut on the edge, so we'll take it off in one bite. Now, since we started on a black dashed line, all of our cuts for this series will be made by moving from black dashed line to black dashed line and locking in place and cutting. you can check the fit just by taking these two pieces and sliding them together. And even though they're offset because they're mating pieces or matching pieces, you can see that you have the proper fit on the corner. So what we want to do then is take and flip everything end for end, clamp the stock in place again, and repeat the same series of cuts on the opposite end of the stock. To make the matching pieces to fit, what we'll do is slide the clincher over to the first red mark that begins our opposite series of cuts. Turn our backup board around and then get our mating stock. Now what I generally do is mark one edge, and I keep that as the common edge against the fence. Now then, we'll take all of our pieces, and slide them together to make our box body. Now all of the boxes that we're going to take a look at in this video are dimensioned to be 10 inches by 10 inches. Now the significance of that is that since I have set the box joints up to be 1/16 of an inch of protrusion on the outside, that would mean if you were making a corresponding box, you would want to add an extra 1/16 on each end, or a total of 1/8 to the length to get you your finished size. So if we want a 10 inch by 10 inch box, then all four of these pieces would need to be cut 10 1/8 inches long for all four of them. Once the pieces are sanded, they will come out nice and flush, just like that.